right, let's get straight into the youth sports of the day, where the schoolboy rugby season is well and truly underway as the country's top schools prepare for an Easter weekend packed with fixtures. This weekend, though, there were a few upsets and close calls from the Western Cape up until all the way up to the North Vaal.
Yeah, rugby season is true and well and truly underway now. Paarlchem claimed their second victory of the season when they defeated Oakdale 27-13 on Saturday, whilst their arch rivals Paarl Boys High came out 18-13 victors against one of the country's top 5 teams for 2013. That's Ota Nikwa. Rondebosch boys didn't have enough to see off Triple Crown contenders Wynberg. They lost the fixture 59-21. It was an uncharacteristic performance from the Rondies lads. And then in the Eastern Cape, traditional rivals Selborne and Queen's College were embroiled in another match for the history books, with Selborne putting 58 points past the Queenians, who could only manage 11, and then Dale College defeating Grants 17-0, whilst Sterling High managed to get the necessary win over Port Rex. The final score there, 18-17. High scoring for the early season. Yeah.
Well, Pretoria Boys High were not a match for Maritzburg United, who breezed past their opponents from Gauteng with a 42-28 victory, while Westville's defence was a highlight of their 33-9 win over Durban High School. Grey Bloem defeated Louis Botha 44-27, and Affies were condemned to a famous defeat at the hands of Waterkloof 38-21 in that big Pretoria derby, the final score of that matchup.
Ooh, what a broken hearts, but in the matches of the evening, it was a tale of the comeback from Bishop's College, who welcomed Boland Landbou to the Piley Reese field in Rondebosch on Saturday. The hosts got off to a shaky start after conceding a penalty to Landbou, going 3-0 down thanks to an Andre Manuel try. They were back in the game at 5-3 before Landbou began to put their stamp on the match, scoring an unanswered 16 points before half-time. At 19-5 to the visitors, Bishops would have been forgiven for coming out with their tails between their legs, but in the 35-degree heat, the Bishops boys fought back. Tries from Andre Manuel, Keenan Jacobs saw the hosts claw their way back into the fixture at 19 all, and ill discipline would see Landbou back into the lead thanks to 2 penalty conversions from Jandre Williams, 25-19 to the visitors. With only minutes remaining, Jesse Walensky would run in the winning try for the hosts to take the score to 26-25 to Bishops. Unbelievable. Andre Manuel would convert the subsequent 2 points on offer before sealing the victory with a well-struck penalty on the buzzer. The final score in that cracker, 29-25. Well done, Bishops.
Well, one of the biggest games of the weekend was a tale of two halves, where Grey High School visited Markotter Fields at Stellenbosch to take on Paul Roos this past Saturday. Now, the hosts got onto the score sheet thanks to a pivotal fly-half, Aiden Cupido, who scored underneath the sticks and converted to make it 7-0. Now, it would then take close to 20 minutes before Paul Roos could find the try line again, when the winger Nico Leonard jotted down in the corner and then took the score to 12-0 to the home side. Now, the second half began like the first one. It ended as scrum half Herschel Janchis dotted down, and following the conversion from Cupido, saw his team reach 19-0. Another try from Jerome Korf saw Paul Roos reach 26 points, with Grey failing to manage one in almost 50 minutes of the play. Then, under the heat of the Stellenbosch sun, the boys from Port Elizabeth turned it around. Nathan Brown would then get his first try for the visitors before IT Mayinje scored a brace that would see Grey within 7 points of their hosts. George Modrovic would get the final try of the game when he scored in the corner to take Grey High to 24 points with only minutes remaining of the game. Now, with time already up, Grey High was awarded a final penalty in a kickable range, with Kerwin Bosch who's stepping up to take it. Now, he would then put the ball through the sticks to see Grey scored the famous 27-26 victory over Paul Roos in the first Premier Inter-Schools match of the season. And what a game it was, dude, to see it go down to the wire. It was almost like, I think they call this one an Ike Tigers comeback. It's so improbable. And then at the end, boom.
But see, so many of those kinds of performances over our first big weekend of rugby. Keep it up, lads. Yeah. Awesome stuff. We're going to take a quick break. Then, judging by all the costumes that have just walked past our camera, you are in for an unforgettable performance. More after the break.